So, I have spent the last week playing Black and White 2, a game I'm familiar with, but one that I've never beaten. And I've got to say, I had an absolutely terrific time revisiting this game. It is showing its age in some places, and I'll talk about that. I'd say it took me maybe 15, 16 hours to beat. So to give you a quick overview of what the game is and how it works, you are God, and the main bad guy is the Aztec god. However, you do come up against the Japanese god and the Norse god as well, and you play through various islands where you have to quote-unquote answer the villagers' prayers by coming down and literally taking over the village. Now, each of these different islands represents different levels, and I had a really great time playing through these levels. The earlier ones, they were probably a little bit more enjoyable, and I'll go over why that is later on. But the later levels were still fun. It just gets quite grindy, at least the way that I played the game. You do have the help of your creature that you get to select at the beginning. I went with the cow. I just thought it was the best one, and I trained it to be good. So it was a very good cow by the end, very helpful. The way your creature turns out is entirely dependent on you. You can train it to do bad things or good things, and yeah, it's a really good helping hand, especially at the beginning when you don't have like armies and stuff. Having your creature there to take on raiding parties or whatever might come your way is very handy. This game came out in 2005 and is starting to show its age in some places. I find the path placing to be kind of frustrating at times, especially like the walls. Placing walls down can be really excruciating, but if you get used to it after like a couple hours of gameplay and you get used to where the mouse needs to be in order for certain things to work, it's not too bad. So to beat one of these islands, you need to take over the villages that are around you. You can do this by force, or you can do it by building a really nice village that people want to move to, and yeah, you can win over the other towns. I remember when I played this as a youngster, I really enjoyed that premise, and I still went with the same method today of winning over the towns and just trying to build a big enough and substantial enough village that other people would want to move there, and the armies weren't too necessary. Now, having said that, the armies are necessary, especially later on in the game. You will get attacked a lot more and you need defenses. As you play through the game, you can unlock various other things by using tokens that you earn. There's meadows, there's different buildings. The meadows are cool because they introduce animals, which is nice to see around your town. I really enjoyed that. Look at this little pig. So universities and like bathhouses and the amphitheatre, which is probably the biggest building, I think it is the biggest building you can get in the game. Those are the biggest attractions and the things that will boost your town's rating the most. So trying to build those is quite resource intensive, and at the start it's quite easy to balance those resources. However, later on, especially in the last level, I just completely like ran out of wood. Now maybe that's my fault. I ended up just using a bunch of fertility statues to beat the final level. It was really difficult. I won't spoil how that final level goes, because there's a few events in there that are quite surprising and important. So I'll leave those out. And the other gods piping up every now and then just gave them a little bit more character, taunting you as you're trying to build your village and just go about getting on with things. You've also got God and the Devil, who occasionally chime in and will try and influence you to be good or bad. Now, circling back to the creature, you will have some issues occasionally, and you just need to make sure you praise the creature when it does the right thing, and it'll turn out right. But that is entirely up to you. You can make your creature an absolute bastard if you want to, and treat it like crap, and make it really angry, and I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can, and you can make it a killing machine, which is how some people play this game, which is what's really good about the game. You can play it however you want. You can be really ruthless, build big armies, go after towns, and take over everything by force. But yeah, I went with the pacifist route, and it worked out well. Of course, sometimes, like I said, you do have to use your armies, and your creature will have to get its hands dirty at times. So this is an altar. This is something you can build in your town and people will come and worship you if everything's going really well in your town. If things aren't going well, your worshippers will drop off. But with this, you can unlock miracles that you can use to either attack or defend your town. So these come in real handy, especially in the later on levels when people are attacking quite frequently. The meteor and fire ones were the most useful for me. So around the islands you'll see these silver scrolls. These are what you could consider side missions, and they gain you coins which can go towards unlocking things. These are really good. They make for a nice break from the regular gameplay, and I enjoyed them. There are some standout items like the renaming fountain. You can use that to name villages whatever you want, and it can come in handy if you need to identify one for any reason. So in the final level, I actually did have to take over a town. I didn't have an entirely pacifist playthrough. I just didn't have enough room to make the village as nice as it needed to be to attract the others and win the island. But with all that room, I just ended up building random stuff, and this is sort of where I feel like you need more resources available. Now again, this could be just me. Like I ran out of wood really early on, and it might just be my fault. I had plenty of foresters, I had people working around the clock, and I left trees. I don't know. So as you can see, it's just a mess of amphitheaters and fertility idols that were needed to make the town reach that level of takeover, and it just looks messy. I don't like it. But I only really had this issue on the last 2 levels. Like I said earlier, the earlier levels were really well balanced, and I was able to build a nice village while still having to fend off attacks. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the problem, but I don't know. But those minor issues did not ruin my playthrough at all. I had a great time playing this, and I'm so happy to have finally beat it. I remember just playing this on the family computer as a kid, and never ever, I don't even think I got past the second island ever. So to play it through and beat it just felt great. So I definitely recommend checking this game out. I think the creatures are a really cool element, even if they try and poo on everything at the start. I really enjoyed myself with this game, and yeah, definitely recommend you giving it a look, even if it's just the first couple levels, because I think I could replay those first couple levels over and over again and it would still be enjoyable. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. So glad to beat this one, and again, with all these first time beating videos, they're not reviews. It's just my experience of beating a game. And we got another good one on the books, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon in the next one. Cheers.